Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to take a brief look at some of the items contained within a beer ingredients kit. For those of you who've never brewed your own beer, this will show you just a little bit of what goes into that tasty brew you so much enjoy. Let's take a look. The first ingredient we see is going to be the malted grain. This is actually malted barley. This barley right here, you can see the small, different sized pieces. That tells you it's been milled. And malted means that it's been sprouted or germinated and then kiln dried. This helps to free up a lot of the natural sugars within, so we get a very good taste out of this grain. Typically we would take this grain, place it inside of this little mesh bag known as a muslin. See if I can stick my hand in the bag so you can see it. There you are. And we'll steep it just like a cup of tea. Steep the grains, typically for about 30 minutes, producing a good wort. And then we'll add some more ingredients. The next ingredient we would add would be sugar. In this case, we have two 3-pound bags of Bryce dry malt, and it's the amber variety, which will give our beer a nice golden hue. We have 3 pounds here and 3 pounds here, and after 30 minutes of steeping the grain, we would stir all 6 pounds of this sugar into the wort. Next, we would bring the wort to a full boil, and we would steep our hops. Here you can see that I have 2 packages of German tradition hops, and they have their alpha acid levels listed right on front. These hops are pelletized, which means that they're ground and shrunk down and smushed into little tiny pellets. Again, we would get one of our smaller muslins, and we would steep the hops, typically for 45 minutes. Then we would allow our wort, or our premature beer, to cool down, typically using an ice bath or a wort chiller. Once the wort has reached an 80-degree or lesser temperature, it's time to sprinkle our yeast. Here I have a package of safe lager yeast. This yeast is typically used to produce colder fermenting beers. And that means that after I sprinkle this on the beer, I'll need to put it into a fermenting bucket and keep that bucket at about 54 degrees. After 2 weeks of being in our fermenting bucket, the beer is almost done. We'll need to charge it up one more time by adding just a little bit of priming sugar, and that'll give the yeast a little added boost of activity so that we get our carbonation. At that time, I would take it from the fermenting bucket and put it into my bottles, sealing it finally with a bottle cap. And that, my friends, in a nutshell, is a beer ingredient kit.